Remains of Lynnsey Barton hidden in these woods in southern Duval County for months. Now we learned what police discovered when Ruben Ebron led them to the spot where he disposed of the child's body.
He was under a set of tires when one of our officers who went out there saw what they believed to be a single bone protruding from the rim of a tire. They moved that tire. When they moved that one tire, underneath that was another tire. In the crook of that area, we found the skull, and in that general area, we found the rest of the skeletal remains.
3 weeks after police found Lynnsey Barton's remains, Ruben Ebron, the man who led investigators to those remains, pleaded guilty in a plea bargain.
Ruben Ebron will spend the next 20 years in prison. Here are the new developments. The sheriff's office now says Ebron told them he and Lynnsey's mother, Lonna Barton, were having sex when the child died. He says they had turned Lynnsey away, closed the door, locked the boy in the bathroom where he drowned in a tub full of water. Prosecutors have accepted Ebron's story that Lynnsey's death was an accident. The medical examiner found the toddler had fractures on his body, some of which were healing. Lynnsey had also been seen by a doctor some weeks earlier because he had fallen down the stairs.
Lonna Barton remains in jail right now in Baker County, where she is facing charges of drug dealing, which are separate from the charges she faces here in Duval County in her son's death.
News4Jax investigative reporter Lynnsey Gardner digging into what's next for Lonna Barton.
Well, today I sat down with local defense attorney Rhonda Peoples-Waters to answer how else could Lonna Barton be held accountable.
I just want to know where he is. That's it. I don't want to know detail. Where is he? I'll go get him myself and cut all this out.
Nobody's dealing with
it is all this is. These people gonna try and tell me that they don't know if I don't know where he is. I don't know where my kid is. All I want is my kid.
If you believe Ruben Ebron's story today, which prosecutors and police do, then this isn't genuine emotion from a grieving mother, but rather a guilty party trying to cover her own tracks. This video taken hours after Lynnsey was first reported missing. Weeks later, police say the same mother, Lonna Barton, is seen here shooting drugs into her arm and jumping high on a bed, all during an undercover drug bust in nearby Baker County, possibly already knowing her own child was dead, drowning in a bathtub while locked in a bathroom so she and Ruben Ebron could have sex. That version of events from police today was startling, even for local defense attorney Rhonda Peoples-Waters.
From the beginning, we all saw this more as Ruben Ebron being more criminally responsible and Lonna just making bad decisions and bad choices. This turns the table, and it definitely makes us assess, whether Lonna truly cared about her children, whether or not she took enough of an interest in her children.
Instead of a thriving upbringing full of possibilities, police say adults in Lynnsey's young life failed him, starting with the woman who brought him into this world.
She's the one that birthed this child, so it's certainly in many people's mindset that she had more of an obligation than Ruben Ebron to protect and care for her own child.
Peoples-Waters does expect Lonna's plea deal in Duval County to hold, and as a defense attorney herself, she thinks Lonna's focus now should be on her drug charges in Baker County.
At this point, it's not going to benefit her to say anything more about the Duval County cases. She really needs to focus with her attorneys in her Baker County case, trying to show that she should not get the maximum if that's 15 years in Baker County.
Lonna's defense attorney had no comment on today's developments. Now, Lonna goes back to court at the end of this month in Baker County on those drug charges.
What about Lynnsey Barton's older sister, Lonna Barton's daughter?
Peoples-Waters does expect that Lonna is going to lose custody of her 5-year-old daughter. So she says if the public is looking for any comfort tonight, it is that Lonna is not getting out of jail anytime soon. In addition to the 5 years we expect her to serve in Duval County, it could be around 15 years in Baker County that she could get if found guilty. So maybe the same amount of time as Ebron, and by that time her daughter would be a grown woman. Tom?
Just sad all around.
Tragedy.
Lynnsey, thanks. Great insight.